Today I will be reading chapter 18 from Strong, the first book of the Armstrong series. I thought it would be helpful to hear a little bit about the book so you can understand the tone, the pace, and the style of writing. I like to look at reviews to figure out if I'm going to like a book, but I find that they're often either too glowing or too negative or full of spoilers. So I sometimes don't go by the reviews, and the best way is to do the look inside feature. And I thought that to give you a little bit more, I'd jump into the book a little more so you can kind of get into the meat of the story. So today I'm going to be reading chapter 18 from Strong, and I hope you like it. Friday Night Lights. Metro wanted to experience it just once as himself. He wanted to feel the thrill of the stadium from the field without being dulled by the distraction of his potion-induced rage, even if only for a few seconds. Metro jogged behind his new teammates as they lined up on the side of the field to run through the Go Wildcat sign. The lights were super bright against the night sky. They seemed way brighter from the field when they were beaming directly in his eyes. The color of everything was almost overwhelming. Metro wasn't completely sure if it was the newness of the experience, or the fear growing in his belly, or some lingering effects of the serum in his bloodstream that was making all of the colors around him too sharp and contrasting. Emerald green of the field against the velvet black of the sky, vivid red and blue iridescent shards from the palms, fuzzy with motion on the edges. The players, led by Red at the front of the group, ripped through the sign, all of them pumping and jumping and screaming and growling. Metro kept pace behind them, his hand shielding his eyes from the colors and the lights. And the sounds and smells. How could a situation he'd experienced countless times before be so different from this angle? Popcorn butter and drums pounding, cheering and cowbells and laughter. Metro felt equal parts jealousy and pity for Red. Jealousy that Red got to be the star of such an amazing show, and pity that he somehow managed to bear the overwhelming pressure Metro felt in that moment, week after week. Pity for Red? I must have been off the serum too long. The serum, even thinking about it, shot a jolt of anxiety to Metro's gut. While he was still smart Metro, he had the foresight to dump the vial into an empty Gatorade bottle. He knew his mom and Angel would be watching his every move with predator-like scrutiny, and drinking a blue sparkly concoction from a small vial seconds before turning into the brown teenage version of the Hulk would have been extremely suspicious. Taking one last look at the field, Metro gulped the entire thing down in one swig. He would have loved to take a few more precious moments to soak everything in, but the other team flipped for first possession of the ball, so he was starting the game on defense while Red watched from the sidelines. Metro made eye contact with Red before taking his place on the field. Red's eyes were uncharacteristically empty, arms crossed over his chest, and he didn't have his usual puppy dog look about him. Metro realized his rage was hard on everyone, even his so annoying he couldn't possibly get annoyed little brother. But Metro didn't reflect on it long before his blood started to warm. His heart pounded so hard he could see it through the football pads covering his chest. His hands began their predictable dance, flex, fist, flex, fist. Before he could stop himself, Metro gave a final passing glance at Red and mouthed the words, "I'm sorry." Red's eyebrows bunched for a moment in confusion, and then his eyes opened like wide circles. But Metro's oncoming rage tore him away, leading him out to his position on the field. Smart Metro was retreating off to wherever he went while the beast was in control. But he had a fleeting thought as he ran. When Red played football, he purposefully held back enough not to reveal his true guardian nature. Smart Metro was afraid Rage Metro wouldn't be so restrained. As he crouched into position, Metro locked eyes on his target, the other team's quarterback. He could see his blue eyes and freckles peeking out from his face mask as he yelled out orders and encouraged his team. Rage Metro crowded out the smart one, pushing him to the furthest recesses of their shared mind. But as he faded, Metro had to swallow a wave of remorse as he shoved his consciousness to the background. God help this kid. God help me.